This is the TSG Multimedia Podcast for December of 2023. We're sponsored this month by Podomatic and the TSG Train Crew on Patreon. Thank you very much. I'm John, and this is the longest continuously running train-related podcast that I'm aware of, going strong since 2010. November was a bit less busy when it came to going out to do things, but it was also way busier in terms of editing and getting the upcoming program schedule filled out with lots of great content like layout tours, open houses, the final events for the Fern Creek and Western Garden Railroad in Santa Cruz, and a lot more. In this podcast, I'll be talking to you about some open houses in my area with some surprise guest celebrities, and also a recap of the Talking Trains show that we had on my birthday. So let's get to it. Today, the South Bay Historical Railroad Society, which is here behind me at the Santa Clara Depot, is having their fall open house. So we came here because we have a volunteer who's going to volunteer a couple of hours working some of their official jobs, and I wanted to come out and do some promotion of the event because I always do. I feel like this is one of the best train-related events of the year, and lucky for everybody, it happens twice a year, once in November and once in April. So the fall open house is what's happening now, and then in April we'll have our spring open house. And I'm going to go in here and show you some of the stuff that happens here at the open house. Something else I want to mention before I go in and actually start showing you what's in there is I wanted to show you all the nice new decking that's done out here. This was a project that took really a number of months. And right behind me, over my right shoulder, is where you saw me painting up on that scissor lift a couple months ago when I was volunteering some time on a Sunday morning. So this is an ongoing process for the group to maintain the property. And this nice new deck goes all the way around where the old deck was, and it's really pretty. So as you can see, there's a large HO scale layout and a large N scale layout, both of which are open during the open houses, and the members also tend to run their best trains for these events. There's also what we call the general store or company store, and this is set up in the main museum area, and as you can see, there's a lot of stuff for sale. And we're talking about things like books. Oh yeah, there's a lot of books. You can see some models in the background. Did I mention there are also models of trains and more models of trains? There are a lot of train models, and if you've ever wanted to learn how to weather, this is a great place to get practice cars. Oh, there's also toy trains, and all this stuff gets donated to the SBHRS, and we sell it to help fund our restoration and preservation projects. The deck along the track side of the depot is a great place to catch up with friends and do some foaming while you're at it. The private car that sits alongside the depot was built in 1912 by the Pullman Company for the Oregon Washington Railroad and Navigation Company. It was rebuilt as a business car and then eventually sold to the Oregon Short Line Railroad. Both of these railroads were absorbed by the Union Pacific, which operated the car as UP 157 for about 30 years. It has been restored, and it's definitely worth a look if you ever have a chance to see it in person. The interlocking tower was built in the mid-1920s and served the Southern Pacific until the 1990s. This is also open at every open house. I ran into someone I know here.
Yeah, I like trains, so I came down on the train that's not here, and then I forgot there's the magical new power of electricity here, but they don't run the magical electricity trains for us to ride yet.
Do you like trains?
I guess.
Tell us about that.
Well, you see, I like trains from South America.
Yeah?
I could write a book about it. I should.
Is that what that logo is on your shirt there?
No, this one's Virginia and Truckee. I'm being normal today. I'm in disguise.
That's not South America?
Nah, I got to be normal and in disguise today.
Ask him what his 5 favorite South American trains are.
Yeah, what's your favorite South American trains?
5 favorite.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Let's see here. Guayaquil and Quito. That's number 1, easily. Yeah. Ecuador. International Railways of Central America. Is
that 2?
That's 2. That's El Salvador and Guatemala. Can I do 5? That's a good question. I don't think I can do 5.
Oh, okay.
Well, they don't have that many trains down there?
Oh, they have plenty, but I don't like all of them.
2 is good enough. Last time we asked that question, 5, we got 10.
La Trochita and I probably pronounced that wrong, so I apologize to anybody from Argentina. 2-foot gauge, almost. Does Cuba count, or is that Latin America?
I don't know.
I'll just say Cuba. Sugar mill
Cuba
industry.
counts.
All right. Sugar, steam, and Cuba, so that's 4. What's some meter gauge railroad in Argentina.
What else?
That was 5.
Right, what else?
No, I'm not falling for that again. I learned that lesson. I watched Hunter fall for that.
Do you like trains?
No, I can't stand trains.
What's your favorite train?
My favorite, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What else?
That's it.
Do you have only one?
You don't
Just,
like Gordon?
just Thomas. Well, Gordon, he runs the Express, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't Percy one of them?
Percy's one of them, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
And Lulu Bill and Clara Bill and
Bob.
And yeah, they're all really good trains. Very useful trains.
Oh, we were getting a voice for off camera, so I came over here and talked to you. Now we're getting a voice from off camera. It's Liam over there.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should all get together.
Oh, should we all get together and do a video?
Oh.
What are you going to talk about?
Sacramento Northern.
Oh, Sacramento Northern, yeah.
Is that your other favorite?
Yeah.
What else?
I like the Sacramento Northern.
Yeah,
It goes to Sacramento and then it keeps going north.
So it's Northern Sacramento.
Right.
Sacramento and North.
Yeah. Don't you ever want to go to Chico?
Well, not really.
Back when you could ride the train from Trans Bay Terminal to Chico for, I think, what? In 1941, it was like $2.75 each way.
$275?
No, $2.75.
Yeah, it would be $275 now.
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way the rate structure is per capital quarter.
That's like $70 to come here.
Yeah, you have to take out a loan.
Yeah, it costs me about $40 just to come from Berkeley.
Wow.
$40?
One way?
Round trip.
Yeah,
round
trip.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's still $20 one way.
Yeah. Well, that's cheaper than buying a car and driving a car around.
Yeah, and being in all the traffic.
Yeah.
Especially today, Gary. Gary got stuck in traffic today.
Yeah.
Also open during the open house events is the passenger waiting room with an original Southern Pacific bench and some displays with original Southern Pacific uniforms. We also have a very well-stocked library with thousands of books in it. And the cool thing about this is that if you're a member, you can check these books out. If you're not a member, you can still come in and look at them, you just can't take them home with you. So there's probably more that I'm missing, but these are the highlights and the things that I look forward to for every SBHRS open house event. You can find more information at sbhrs.org, and I really hope that you'll come and check it out sometime.
So I'm here today. We're doing something kind of train related or model railroad related. I'm at Silicon Valley Lines with my friend James, also a TSG train crew member. James, thank you, sir. And this is one of Silicon Valley Lines open houses for the year. And I thought a few months ago, when I knew this open house was coming up, that we should make a video about it and let people know what Silicon Valley Lines is, because I've done a lot of videos about the open houses at SBHRS, but I don't think we've ever done one here.
Not that I know of.
Right? Yeah. So it's an opportunity for people to learn about Silicon Valley Lines. And since we have you on the camera right now, James, what would you say about Silicon Valley Lines in 20 seconds or less that would make people interested in watching the video?
Well, you get to see how we do some of the operations. Currently, for the open house, we run just a modified version of a normal operating session. But you get to see just kind of what we do during our operating sessions and what we do as a club.
One of the cool things about this guy standing next to me, besides his beard, is that he saw some video that we did. I think it was the video that was the layout tour of Silicon Valley Lines that I produced maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And I think that's what made you join, isn't it?
Yep.
So it's kind of a success story. I think of it as a success story when it comes to, promoting something and then having someone get interested and go, oh, that's cool.
Yep.
So anyway, that's what we're doing here today, and I may come on later with a little update. Right now, we're going to get to work doing some recording. Hi, so we're just wrapping up the shoot here, and it wasn't a really intensive shoot, but just long enough for people here to talk about Silicon Valley Lines, getting enough video footage to fill in with what we call B-roll in video, and basically just showing what this event is and what this layout is. And my hope is that people watching eventually will see that standalone video and be interested enough to come down here and check it out. And then the really eventual hope is that people will want to sign up and join here, because quite often during live shows on this channel, we get people in the live chat talking about how there's nowhere for them to operate and how do I get into operations, and it's really hard. Well, this is one of those examples of how to get into operations. You can find a club layout like this one, whose purpose is ops. You can join up and learn all about ops.
Momentum.
So just something to think about, and I'll catch you on the next update.
On the 15th, we went live with the Talking Trains show. For this episode, I was joined by Tony Cook to talk with Ray Arnott from the Around the Layout podcast, Andy Dorsch from the Second Section podcast, and Thomas Gazier from the Crossing Gate podcast. These guys provided a lot of insight about what podcasts are, how they fit into the hobby, and how we can support each other. I thought it was a great conversation about inclusion and positivity that I think is sorely needed, and I hope you'll take a look at the replay if you missed us live. Just a quick note, I want to mention about this month's Talking Trains show. I've invited Tony Cook back to be the featured guest so we can talk about train sets. If you have a fond memory of a train set you had as a kid, put a comment in our comments section below, and I'll see if I can get Tony to give us the lowdown on what you had that got you started in the hobby. If that's not enough, you should also know that I've invited Jennifer Howell back to be our guest co-host again. It should be a great time. This month's train catch comes from Raymond Swift. I met Raymond at the SBHRS open house, and he sent in this photo of some locomotives sitting on the tracks on December 28th of 2022 in Milpitas, California. The engine in the middle of that power consist on the left side is a Canadian National unit. Also, SD70M 2002, one of the Union Pacific Olympic units, is sitting on an adjacent track. Great catch, Raymond. Thanks for sharing it, and it was nice to meet you at the open house. If you have train or monthly model catches you'd like to share, please email them to podcast@tsgmultimedia.com. Be sure you own the shots and let me know the what's, whens, and wheres of the shots you send in. Now, I want to mention real quick that there's a Fans of Talking Trains page on Facebook where people get to share their projects and events. You can find it using the link in the description of this video or simply by searching for it on Facebook. I hope you'll join the community and share your stories with us. So with that, the last podcast of 2023 is done. I hope you all have a great holiday season, and I'm looking forward to a great 2024 with all of you. I want to also shout out a huge thanks to the TSG train crew for helping support my work here. Without them, it wouldn't be possible for us to create the content you enjoy. If you can spare a few bucks a month, please add your support by joining the TSG train crew today by going to patreon.com/TSG Multimedia. In return for your support, you get really cool things like sneak peeks that are presented ad-free in ultra-high definition 4K. A few bucks probably doesn't sound like much, but it helps us a lot, and I wouldn't ask if it didn't help. So all right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.